Period pain isn't just a dull ache that comes and goes. It's a force that can knock the wind out of you without warning. It coils itself deep into your lower abdomen, climbs up your back, and sometimes shoots down your legs like a warning flare. For some, it feels like tiny needles twisting inside. For others, like a storm of tension that refuses to break. You might feel nauseous, irritable, exhausted, or like you're being punished for something entirely out of your control. It's personal, it's painful, and it's persistent. But above all, it's real, and it deserves real solutions. You're told to just deal with it, to pop a painkiller, smile through the discomfort, and carry on. You're expected to sit through classes, meetings, and conversations while your uterus feels like it's being wrung out. You're told to normalize it, to act like nothing's happening, to pretend that the cramping, bloating, back pain, and fatigue are just a minor inconvenience. But deep down, you know it's more than that. You know the way it steals your focus, disturbs your sleep, and hijacks your energy. You know how it turns an ordinary day into a battlefield inside your body. Maybe you've sat on your bed, clutching your stomach, wondering why the painkillers haven't kicked in yet. Maybe you've scrolled through forums at 2 a.m. looking for relief. Maybe you've tried herbal teas, yoga poses, and hot water bottles without ever feeling like you found a true answer. Maybe you've cried out of frustration, not because of the pain alone, but because of how dismissed it makes you feel, like your suffering is too common to matter. But what if there were a way to change that narrative? What if instead of just coping, you could actually reduce that pain, quickly, effectively, and without relying on sheer willpower or guesswork? What if your pain didn't have to be your monthly reality? This isn't a list of myths or wishful thinking. This isn't a miracle cure whispered down generations without evidence. This is science, hard data, clinical studies, years of research focused on understanding how menstruation affects the body, and more importantly, how that pain can be relieved. Instantly. Because yes, relief can come fast. The body isn't your enemy. It's actually built with systems that respond quickly to the right kind of support. And once you understand how to activate those systems, whether it's through movement, temperature, nutrition, or nerve stimulation, you're no longer helpless. You're informed. You're empowered. You don't have to wait months to see results. You don't need to go on a restrictive diet, purchase a $100 supplement plan, or book a specialist appointment 3 towns away. The solutions are often simple. They're grounded in biology, tested in labs, and proven in real-life experiences. And they're available to you right now. This is your guide to taking back control. This is the moment you stop treating your pain like an unchangeable fate. No more sitting in silence. No more suffering in the shadows. You're not fragile. You're not imagining it. And you don't have to just get used to it. Your pain is valid. Your comfort matters. And there is a way forward. What comes next isn't guesswork. It's a roadmap. These are the 6 most effective science-backed methods to reduce period pain instantly. No fluff. No empty promises. Just real relief based on real evidence. It's time to listen to your body and give it what it actually needs. Let's begin. Point 1. Apply heat. It's more effective than painkillers. There's a reason your hands instinctively reach for your belly when the cramps hit. Your body already knows what modern science confirms. Warmth soothes pain. Not metaphorically. Literally. And not just a little. It can make the difference between barely functioning and finally breathing again. Applying heat to the lower abdomen is one of the oldest remedies for menstrual cramps. But thanks to science, it's no longer just a comforting tradition. It's a proven treatment. Peer-reviewed studies and clinical trials have repeatedly shown that heat therapy works. And in many cases, it works better and faster than common over-the-counter painkillers. Let's break it down. When your uterus contracts during menstruation, it restricts blood flow and reduces oxygen to the surrounding tissues. That's why it hurts. The muscles are cramping hard, but they're also getting less oxygen, and this triggers pain receptors. It's your body's way of saying something is off balance. Now introduce heat to this equation. Not just warmth, but therapeutic heat. Something as simple as a heating pad, a warm towel, or a hot water bottle applied directly to your abdomen. Within minutes, the blood vessels in that area begin to dilate. Blood flow increases. Muscles start to relax. Tension melts away. The nervous system, which has been firing pain signals nonstop, begins to calm down. Scientific research backs this up. A landmark study published in Evidence-Based Nursing compared the effects of 104 degrees Fahrenheit heat wrap to ibuprofen, one of the most commonly used medications for menstrual pain. The result? The women using the heat wrap reported faster and longer-lasting pain relief than those who took the pill. Another study in the Journal of Physiotherapy concluded that continuous low-level heat therapy was as effective as oral analgesics in relieving dysmenorrhea, the medical term for painful periods. But beyond the statistics and journals, the effect of heat is something you feel almost immediately. You lie back, place a heat pack on your abdomen, and you can almost hear your body sigh in relief. Your breathing steadies. Your shoulders drop. For the first time in hours, maybe days, you feel like you can rest. And that's the magic of it. Heat doesn't just target the pain physically. It signals to your whole nervous system that the emergency is over. You're safe. You're supported. You're no longer under siege. And let's talk about the best ways to use heat. It's not complicated or expensive. You can use a microwavable heating pad, a hot water bottle, a warm bath or shower, a self-adhesive heat patch from your local pharmacy. If you're on the go, heat patches that stick to your skin or underwear are discreet, portable, and can last up to 8 hours. They gradually release warmth that soothes you throughout the day, whether you're at work, in class, or running errands. If you're at home, a hot bath does double duty. The heat relaxes your core, while the buoyancy of water eases the pressure on your joints and muscles. Add Epsom salts or essential oils like lavender or peppermint, and the relief becomes not just physical, but emotional. What's more, heat therapy is side effect free. Unlike medications that can upset your stomach, damage your liver over time, or cause drowsiness, heat works naturally with your body. It doesn't suppress symptoms. It works in harmony with your physiological processes. And because it's non-invasive and gentle, it's safe for most people to use as often as needed. There's also a psychological component that makes heat so powerful. Warmth is comforting. It triggers the release of oxytocin, the same hormone released during hugging or bonding, which helps ease stress and create a sense of calm. When you apply heat, you're not just treating the physical pain. You're telling yourself, I deserve care. You're saying, my pain is real, and I'm allowed to soothe it. That emotional validation matters. It transforms the experience from one of helplessness into one of gentle control. And let's not overlook the importance of routine. When you make heat therapy part of your monthly cycle, before the cramps even hit, you're getting ahead of the pain. Many women find that applying a warm compress in the days leading up to their period can minimize the severity of cramps once they arrive. It's a preventive measure, not just a reactive one. Still not convinced? Let's look at the numbers. In a randomized controlled trial involving over 200 women, those who used localized heat therapy reported a 79% decrease in pain within the first hour, compared to only 59% among those who took standard medication. That's not just a slight edge, that's significant relief in real time. And in a world where period pain is often underestimated or brushed aside, every percentage point of relief matters, because it's not just numbers, it's you, your day, your energy, your peace of mind. Now, one important note, the key is consistent and moderate heat. You don't want to burn yourself or use anything overly hot. Stick to a comfortable temperature and don't apply heat for more than 15 to 20 minutes at a time unless it's designed for long-term use. Always wrap hot water bottles in a towel and avoid falling asleep with an electric heating pad unless it has an auto shutoff. If you've never tried heat therapy before, start simple. The next time the cramps begin, take a break. Lie down. Place a warm pack on your belly. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. Give yourself permission to rest, to heal, to feel the pain lifting. Notice the tension fade from your body. Let the warmth sink in, not just into your muscles, but into your mindset. Let it remind you that relief is possible, that science is on your side, that you are not alone in this pain, and you are not powerless against it. Applying heat might seem too simple, too gentle, too basic to be effective, but that's the beauty of it. Sometimes the most powerful solutions aren't the loudest ones. They're the ones that quietly return your body to balance, one warm breath at a time. Heat is more than comfort. It's a clinical tool, a natural remedy, a silent healer. And it could be the fastest, most immediate way for you to feel better today. Point 2. Try gentle exercise. Even a walk can work wonders. It sounds almost cruel to suggest movement when your body feels like it's caving in from the inside out. The last thing you want to do when period cramps strike is lace up your shoes and head out for a walk. Your instinct is to lie down, curl into a ball, pull the covers over your head, and stay absolutely still. And that's understandable. Period pain doesn't just affect your uterus. It drains your energy, tightens your muscles, slows down your mind, and leaves you feeling like even standing is a battle. But what if, in the middle of that exhaustion and ache, there was a way to naturally dull the pain? A way that didn't involve medication, equipment, or hours of waiting? Movement. Gentle, deliberate, and kind movement may be the key. Here's the science. When you engage in light exercise during menstruation, your body releases endorphins, chemicals in your brain that act as natural painkillers. These are the same feel-good hormones released when you laugh, hug someone you love, or eat your favorite dessert. But endorphins do more than elevate mood. They interact with pain receptors in the brain to block the transmission of pain signals. That means when you move, you're not just shifting your position, you're shifting your brain chemistry. You're creating a natural buffer between your nerves and your pain. And this isn't a theory, it's proven. A comprehensive review published in the Cochrane database of systematic reviews examined the effect of aerobic exercise on dysmenorrhea, painful periods, and found that women who engaged in light to moderate aerobic activity experienced a significant reduction in the intensity and duration of their cramps. The movement didn't have to be intense. In fact, the most effective routines were often the gentlest: walking, stretching, low-impact yoga, or light cycling. Think about what happens to your body during a period. The uterus contracts to shed its lining, and those contractions, triggered by hormone-like substances called prostaglandins, can become severe enough to restrict blood flow, cause inflammation, and create pain. Gentle exercise increases circulation, not just in your limbs, but throughout your core, improving oxygen delivery to the uterus. It reduces the buildup of prostaglandins, reduces muscle tension, and helps flush excess fluids from the body, easing bloating and tightness. In other words, movement restores flow, both literally and metaphorically. And there's more. Exercise also lowers the levels of cortisol, the body's stress hormone. When you're in pain, your stress levels go up. When your stress levels go up, your pain perception heightens. It becomes a loop. Stress feeds pain, and pain feeds stress. But when you move, you interrupt that loop. You give your body a new rhythm, a fresh focus. You replace the hormonal chaos with balance. You change the message your brain receives from one of alarm to one of calm. Let's talk practical. You don't need to run a marathon or do intense cardio to see results. In fact, during menstruation, the goal is gentleness. It's not about burning calories or hitting goals. It's about inviting ease back into your body. Some examples. Brisk walking. A 20 to 30-minute walk outdoors can do wonders. The steady rhythm of your steps, the fresh air, the natural light, all of it contributes to reduced inflammation and increased circulation. Yoga. Certain yoga poses are specifically beneficial during menstruation. Think child's pose, cat-cow, reclining twist, and legs up the wall. These postures release lower back tension, massage internal organs, and stretch the pelvic muscles, all while calming your mind. Turn on some music. Let your body move intuitively. Don't focus on how it looks, focus on how it feels. Stretch slowly. Roll your shoulders. Loosen your hips. Let movement become a form of self-expression, not just treatment. Swimming or water movement. If you have access to a pool, the buoyancy of water can take the pressure off your joints and support your muscles as you move. It's one of the most soothing ways to engage your body without strain. Still hesitant? That's okay. Your resistance to movement isn't weakness. It's your body trying to protect you. But sometimes, the very thing that feels uncomfortable at first becomes the bridge back to balance. Start with 5 minutes. Just 5. Walk around your room. Do some shoulder rolls. Stretch your arms. Move your neck side to side. If that's all you can manage, that's enough. If you can go longer, do so gently. This isn't about pushing yourself. It's about partnering with your body. It's important to note that everyone's threshold is different. Some days, movement will feel amazing. Other days, it may feel impossible. Listen to your body. Be flexible with your expectations. Movement during menstruation isn't a rule. It's a resource, a tool you can reach for when the pain begins to rise. And the more consistently you use it, the more your body will begin to trust the process. What makes exercise so powerful is that it doesn't just address pain in the moment, it also improves your long-term menstrual health. Studies have shown that women who exercise regularly experience less severe PMS symptoms, lighter flow, and improved mood regulation across their cycles. The benefits compound over time. The more you move, the more resilient your body becomes. The more resilient your body becomes, the less power period pain has over you. And there's another layer to this: empowerment. Periods often come with a sense of helplessness, like your body is doing something you can't control. But when you choose to move, even a little, you reclaim a piece of that power. You remind yourself that you are not at the mercy of your cycle, that your body is not your enemy, that you can do something, even something small, to support your healing. Movement becomes more than therapy. It becomes a declaration, a quiet, steady, powerful stand against discomfort. Remember, you don't need fancy equipment. You don't need a gym membership. You don't even need a full hour. You just need space, physical and mental, to move with intention, to stretch, to breathe, to give your body what it's asking for. Sometimes the most radical act of self-care is also the simplest one, putting one foot in front of the other and trusting that every step is helping. If you're someone who's always dreaded your period, who's felt defeated by the same cycle of pain every month, this is your opportunity to rewrite that story, to try something new, to offer your body not just rest, but rhythm, not just stillness, but strength. You don't have to conquer a mountain. You just have to move. Because in that movement is medicine. In that gentle sway of your hips or slow walk down the street, your body finds relief, your brain finds clarity, and your spirit, often overlooked, finds peace. So the next time the cramps come knocking and your muscles feel tight and your mood starts to dip, remember this: stillness isn't always the answer. Sometimes healing begins with motion. Sometimes the greatest act of comfort is a single, deliberate step forward. One breath, one stretch, one move. That's all it takes to begin. Point 3. Eat magnesium-rich foods or take a supplement. There's a silent warrior in the fight against period pain, and its name is magnesium. It's not a trendy superfood or an exotic herb. It doesn't come with a flashy label or viral marketing. But inside your cells, magnesium is doing powerful, life-changing work. And if you're someone who experiences intense menstrual cramps, chronic bloating, mood swings, or even migraines during your period, chances are your body is quietly begging for more of it. Magnesium is an essential mineral involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in your body. It plays a key role in muscle relaxation, nerve regulation, hormone balance, and even emotional stability. And when it comes to menstruation, magnesium is not just helpful, it's vital. During your cycle, your body experiences a sharp rise and fall in estrogen and progesterone. These hormonal shifts can lead to inflammation, cramping, and increased prostaglandin production, the hormone-like compounds that trigger uterine contractions and pain. Here's where magnesium steps in like a guardian. It helps regulate prostaglandin levels, reduce inflammation, and calm overactive nerves. It also helps the muscles of the uterus, which are smooth involuntary muscles, to relax. That one function alone makes a world of difference. When the uterus contracts too intensely, it restricts blood flow to the surrounding tissues, causing sharp, aching pain. Magnesium works by easing those contractions, improving circulation, and signaling the body that it's safe to stop fighting itself. Don't just take it as advice. Look at the science. A clinical trial published in the journal Magnesium Research found that women who took magnesium supplements regularly experienced significantly less menstrual pain compared to those who didn't. Another study in obstetrics and gynecology science revealed that even a short-term increase in magnesium intake during the luteal phase of the cycle, the days leading up to menstruation, dramatically reduced the severity and duration of cramps. But here's the problem. Most people are magnesium deficient and don't even know it. Modern diets, especially those high in processed foods and low in leafy greens, nuts, and whole grains, are severely lacking in magnesium. Even the soil that our produce is grown in today contains less magnesium than it did 50 years ago, meaning the fruits and vegetables we eat carry fewer minerals than ever before. Add to that stress, which rapidly depletes magnesium stores in the body, and you have the perfect storm, a monthly hormonal upheaval combined with chronic deficiency and zero relief. So how do you fix it? The answer is twofold: nutrition and supplementation. Start by introducing magnesium-rich foods into your daily routine, not just during your period, but all month long. Some of the most potent and accessible sources include leafy greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, nuts and seeds, almonds, cashews, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, whole grains, brown rice, quinoa, oats, legumes, black beans, chickpeas, lentils, bananas, especially effective if you're also dealing with bloating or sugar cravings, avocados, full of healthy fats and a good magnesium boost, dark chocolate. Yes, your craving may be your body's way of asking for magnesium. Even small dietary changes, like swapping white rice for quinoa or adding spinach to your morning smoothie, can add up to real, measurable change. You don't need a radical diet overhaul. You just need consistency and intention. But what if you're still not getting enough through food alone? That's where supplements come in, and they can be a game changer. Magnesium supplements are widely available, but not all forms are created equal. Here's what you need to know. Magnesium glycinate, highly absorbable, gentle on the stomach, and often recommended for those with anxiety or sleep issues. It's one of the best options for menstrual pain. Magnesium citrate, also well absorbed with a mild laxative effect, useful if you also experience constipation during your period. Magnesium oxide, the cheapest and least absorbable, often used in low-cost supplements but not ideal for therapeutic relief. The ideal daily dose for period pain relief ranges from 250 milligrams to 400 milligrams, depending on your body size, age, and overall health. It's always best to start with a lower dose and increase gradually, especially if you're trying it for the first time. Magnesium is generally safe, but in excessive amounts, it can cause diarrhea or stomach discomfort. And if you have any kidney-related issues, talk to your healthcare provider before starting a supplement. What makes magnesium so unique in the context of menstrual health is that it doesn't just target one symptom. It addresses many. Cramps. By relaxing the uterine muscles and lowering prostaglandin production. Bloating. By regulating fluid balance and easing digestive tension. Mood swings. By supporting serotonin production and reducing anxiety. Fatigue. By playing a role in energy production at the cellular level. Sleep disturbances, by calming the nervous system and improving deep sleep quality. Magnesium is like a gentle multi-tool for your body. It works quietly but powerfully behind the scenes. And here's another benefit you might not expect. Fewer migraines. Many people who menstruate experience hormonal migraines around their period, triggered by the rapid drop in estrogen. Magnesium has been shown in several studies, including a major review in Headache, the Journal of Head and Face Pain, to significantly reduce both the frequency and intensity of menstrual migraines. By stabilizing nerve function and supporting vascular health, magnesium can be the buffer your brain needs during those turbulent hormonal days. You might wonder, how soon will I feel results? For some, the impact is noticeable within just a few days of increased intake, especially if they were severely deficient before. For others, it takes a few cycles of consistent use to feel the full benefit. Magnesium isn't a quick fix. It's a stabilizer, a rebuilder. It helps your body return to its natural rhythm, and that kind of healing takes time, but it's worth every step. Imagine walking into your next cycle with fewer cramps, less tension, more calm. Imagine waking up without dread on the first day of your period. That's not just hope. That's a realistic possibility. Because your body wants to heal. It just needs the right tools. So, don't overlook this quiet mineral. Don't assume that food alone can't make a difference. Every bite of spinach, every handful of almonds, every sip of a magnesium-rich smoothie is a message to your body. I care. I'm listening. I'm helping. Pair that intention with a well-chosen supplement if needed, and you've just given yourself one of the most powerful, natural defenses against period pain. In a world that often tells people who menstruate to suffer in silence, choosing magnesium is an act of rebellion, a small, personal revolution that says, I will not normalize my pain. I will not just endure. I will nourish myself. I will support my cycle. I will feel better because I can. And it all starts with a single decision: to give your body what it's quietly asking for, to listen, to respond, to heal. Point 4. Stay hydrated. It's not just for skin glow. When you think of water, you probably think of clear skin, detoxification, or general well-being. But what if hydration was more than just a skincare secret or a fitness trend? What if water, simple, accessible, pure water, was a direct science-backed method to relieve period pain? Not just reduce it mildly, but actively fight the internal mechanisms causing your cramps, bloating, headaches, and fatigue? Most people underestimate the power of hydration. They see it as a side habit, something they'll get around to when they remember or when they're thirsty. But when you're on your period, hydration isn't optional. It's medicinal. It's chemical. It's cellular. And every drop you drink during those days becomes a soldier in your fight against discomfort. Let's break down what's really going on. During menstruation, your body sheds the uterine lining, a process that involves significant hormonal shifts. One of the major players is prostaglandins, hormone-like chemicals responsible for triggering uterine contractions, the primary source of menstrual cramps. The higher the prostaglandin levels, the stronger the contractions, and the more pain you feel. Now, when you're dehydrated, your body becomes more prone to muscle spasms, tension, and inflammation. The blood thickens. Circulation slows. Organs receive less oxygen. And those cramps? They intensify. On the flip side, when your body is well hydrated, everything flows better. Your blood moves smoothly. Your muscles, including your uterus, stay supple and relaxed. Waste and excess prostaglandins are flushed out more efficiently. Water doesn't just hydrate your cells. It regulates your temperature, balances hormones, transports nutrients, and helps detoxify your organs. It is, quite literally, fuel for your healing. Scientific studies support this in striking ways. A 2020 study published in Reproductive Health found that women who consumed more than 2 liters of water during their menstrual cycle experienced notable reductions in period pain intensity, bloating, and mood swings compared to those who drank less than 1 liter per day. In some cases, participants who had previously relied heavily on painkillers were able to cut their use in half simply by staying properly hydrated. But that's just the surface. Let's talk bloating, one of the most frustrating and common symptoms of menstruation. You might think that drinking more water would increase bloating. After all, when you're already feeling puffy and inflamed, the last thing you want is to add more liquid, right? Wrong. It's a common misconception. Your body actually retains more water when it feels dehydrated. It clings to every drop because it doesn't know when the next one is coming. This causes bloating, swelling, water retention, and that heavy, uncomfortable feeling in your belly and limbs. But when you drink consistently, your body relaxes. It starts to release the extra water. The kidneys function more efficiently. Electrolyte levels stabilize. Digestion improves. The bloat goes down. The tightness eases. And this isn't just about water alone. How you hydrate matters. Start with these principles. Aim for 8 to 10 glasses of water per day, or about 2 to 2.5 liters. If you're more active, live in a hot climate, or sweat a lot, you'll need even more. Sip throughout the day instead of gulping all at once. This allows for better absorption and keeps your hydration levels steady. Add electrolytes when needed. If you're feeling extra drained or experiencing diarrhea or vomiting during your cycle, a pinch of Himalayan salt and a squeeze of lemon in your water can replenish lost minerals. Avoid excessive caffeine and alcohol, which are diuretics and can contribute to dehydration and worsen cramps and headaches. You can also eat your water. Many fruits and vegetables are high in water content and offer additional benefits thanks to their nutrients. Cucumbers. 95% water and rich in anti-inflammatory compounds. Watermelon. Great for sugar cravings and ultra hydrating. Celery. High water content and natural diuretic properties. Oranges, packed with vitamin C and hydration in every segment. Strawberries, delicious, anti-inflammatory, and full of hydration. When you prioritize hydration, you're not just soothing physical pain. You're stabilizing your mood, reducing irritability, improving sleep quality, and clearing brain fog. All common symptoms during menstruation. It's the simplest act with the widest ripple effect, and yet so many people overlook it. We live in a culture of productivity, where even drinking water feels like a chore. You might forget because of work, school, stress, or simply not feeling thirsty. But during your period, thirst is not a reliable cue. By the time you feel thirsty, your body is already playing catch up. So instead, make hydration a deliberate ritual, not just a reactive action. Here are some ideas to help you stay on track. Keep a large water bottle with you at all times and set hourly reminders to sip. Flavor your water with natural infusions, cucumber mint, lemon ginger, or strawberry basil for a refreshing twist. Use a water tracking app or journal to keep tabs on your intake. Make a rule. Every time you go to the bathroom, drink a glass of water after. It builds habit through repetition. And here's something to consider. The way you hydrate can also be emotional. When you drink water, you're not just filling a need, you're sending a message to your body that says, I care about how you feel. You're saying, you're not a machine that just has to push through this. You're acknowledging the pain, the fatigue, the swelling, and responding to it. That act of listening and responding, even with something as small as a glass of water, begins to change the entire experience of your cycle. It transforms it from a passive endurance test into an active healing journey. Water might not come with a prescription or a warning label. It doesn't come in a pill bottle or cost hundreds of dollars, but it's one of the most powerful tools you have to restore balance, ease tension, and quiet the internal storm of your period. And it's free. It's immediate. It's always available. So, the next time the cramps hit hard and you feel like curling into a ball and waiting it out, reach for your water bottle. Refill it. Sip it slowly. Take a deep breath between each drink. With every swallow, imagine your body getting the message. Help is here. The blood flows better. The inflammation eases. The uterus softens. And you start to feel a little more like yourself. In a world that constantly tells you to push through the pain, choosing to hydrate is a radical act of self-care. It's not weak. It's wise. Because sometimes healing doesn't come in loud, dramatic actions. Sometimes it begins in the quiet, deliberate choice to drink another glass of water, to flush out the pain, to fill yourself with support, to begin again, one sip at a time. Point 5. Use TENS machine. Tiny shocks, big results. When the cramps hit and everything inside your body feels like it's twisting and tightening with no relief in sight, your options often feel limited. You reach for a hot water bottle. You pop a painkiller. You lie still and hope it passes. But what if there was a way to interrupt the pain before it fully takes over? Not with medicine, not with heat, but with gentle, targeted electrical pulses. This is not science fiction. It's not a futuristic invention. It's a small, portable, drug-free device that's been clinically proven to reduce menstrual pain quickly and effectively. It's called a TENS machine, short for transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation, and it might just become your new favorite ally against period pain. At first glance, a TENS unit might seem intimidating. It usually comes with a small battery-powered device connected to adhesive pads that stick to your skin. But behind this simple setup is a brilliant science-backed mechanism that can block pain at its source. And best of all, it starts working within minutes. Here's how it works. Your nerves are constantly transmitting messages between your body and your brain. When you experience period cramps, pain signals are sent from the uterus to your spinal cord and then to your brain. These signals are carried by nerve fibers, and that's where the TENS unit comes in. When you place the pads on your lower abdomen or lower back and turn on the device, it sends low-voltage electrical impulses through the skin and into the nerves. These impulses have two major effects. 1, they block or scramble the pain signals before they can reach the brain. Number 2, they stimulate the release of endorphins, your body's natural painkillers. The result? Less pain, less tension, more relief. And it's not just anecdotal. It's backed by hard research. A study published in Pain Management Nursing found that women using a TENS machine during menstruation reported significantly lower pain scores compared to those who used placebo treatments or no intervention at all. Another study in the Journal of Physiotherapy supported these findings, showing that high-frequency TENS use led to both immediate and sustained reduction in menstrual pain without any adverse side effects. What makes TENS so appealing is its immediacy and control. You can adjust the intensity, frequency, and duration of the impulses based on your comfort level. The effect is localized, meaning it targets the exact area of discomfort without affecting the rest of your body. Unlike painkillers, which have to be digested and absorbed into your bloodstream and may take up to an hour to work, a TENS unit starts soothing the nerves within seconds of activation, and you don't need a prescription. TENS units are widely available online and in pharmacies. Many are under $50, and they're reusable for years, with only occasional replacement of the electrode pads. Most models are small enough to fit in your pocket, allowing you to move around, work, travel, or even sleep while getting consistent pain relief. To use a TENS machine for menstrual cramps effectively, follow these steps. Position the electrodes on either side of your lower abdomen or on your lower back where you feel the most tension. Start at the lowest intensity, then gradually increase until you feel a tingling, but not uncomfortable, sensation. Use for 20 to 30 minutes per session, several times a day if needed. Do not use directly on the spine, on broken skin, or if you're pregnant, unless approved by your doctor. The sensation of a TENS machine might take a little getting used to. At first, it can feel like gentle buzzing, tapping, or pulsing. Some users describe it as a soft massage from inside the muscles. Others say it's like switching off the pain. But the key is consistency. The more your body gets used to the sensation, the faster it learns to respond. What's especially empowering about using a TENS unit is that it puts relief in your hands. You're not waiting for something to kick in. You're not dependent on medication or hoping for the pain to subside on its own. You're actively stepping in and saying, I'm taking control. That mental shift alone, from passive suffering to active self-care, is incredibly healing. Another bonus? TENS doesn't just help with cramps. Many people find it useful for lower back pain, hip or leg pain, ovulation discomfort, mid-cycle pain, post-period pelvic tension. Because the TENS machine works by interacting with the nervous system, it can be used beyond just menstruation. It becomes a versatile tool in your pain management toolkit, one that you can rely on again and again. If you experience primary dysmenorrhea, painful periods without an underlying medical condition, TENS may offer life-changing relief. But even if you have secondary dysmenorrhea, pain due to conditions like endometriosis or fibroids, TENS can still be a supportive tool in your broader care plan. It's not a cure, but it's a significant comfort, one that comes without the risk of addiction, side effects, or long-term damage to your liver or kidneys, like frequent NSAID use can. And let's be honest, sometimes just knowing there's something that can interrupt the pain in the moment is the greatest comfort of all. You no longer have to lie still and wait it out. You don't have to pretend you're okay when you're not. With a TENS unit, you can respond immediately. You can soothe yourself discreetly. You can keep showing up in life while giving your body the attention and care it needs. If you've never tried TENS before, consider this your invitation. It might look small, it might seem too simple, but inside those little pulses is a wave of relief, one that science supports and thousands of women swear by. So plug it in, stick it on, breathe in. Let the pulses speak louder than the pain. Because sometimes healing doesn't come from force or struggle. It comes from technology gently tapping into the wisdom of your body, reminding it that comfort is not just possible, it's already on its way. Point 6. Practice deep breathing and mindful relaxation. Pain begins in the mind too. When pain takes hold of the body, it doesn't stay in one place. It radiates. It grows. It influences your breath, your heartbeat, your thoughts, and your emotions. And menstrual pain in particular is not just a physical sensation. It's a whole body experience. The cramping is real. The tension is real. But so is the anxiety, the mental exhaustion, and the emotional weight that rides alongside it. For many, period pain isn't just in the womb. It's in the shoulders, the jaw, the breath, the mind. And that's why one of the most underestimated but profoundly effective ways to reduce period pain instantly is not external. It's internal. It's deep breathing. It's mindfulness. It's the art of tuning in, softening the nervous system, and returning your body to a state of calm. Let's start with the basics. When you're in pain, your breathing naturally becomes shallow and quick. Your body enters a state of stress. The sympathetic nervous system, also known as fight or flight, takes over. Your muscles tighten. Your heart rate speeds up. Your digestive system slows down. Cortisol, the stress hormone, rises. Your body essentially braces for a threat, even if that threat is the pain from inside your own uterus. The longer this state continues, the more sensitive you become to pain. Your nervous system becomes hyperreactive. Your ability to cope diminishes. But here's the secret. You can reverse that entire process within minutes by changing how you breathe. Deep, intentional breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest response. It tells your brain, you are safe, you are not in danger. The emergency is over, blood flow is restored, muscles begin to release, inflammation decreases, your heart rate slows, your mind begins to quiet, and the pain, once screaming, begins to soften into something your body can manage. And this isn't just theory, it's proven in clinical research. A groundbreaking study in Journal of Psychosomatic Research found that deep diaphragmatic breathing led to a significant reduction in perceived pain intensity among women experiencing menstrual cramps. Another study published in Complementary Therapies in Clinical Practice showed that patients who practiced guided breathing and mindfulness during menstruation not only reported less pain, but also had lower anxiety levels, better sleep, and improved emotional regulation. Think about that. With nothing but air and awareness, you can start reducing your pain. You don't need pills. You don't need equipment. You just need space and permission to breathe. So, how do you begin? Start simple. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Place one hand on your belly and the other on your chest. Now inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, feeling your belly rise. Hold that breath for a count of 4. Then exhale gently through your mouth for a count of 6, feeling your belly fall. Do this for just 5 minutes. This is called diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing. It teaches your body to return to a grounded, relaxed state. Over time, it reduces your baseline tension and retrains your nervous system to stay calm, even in the face of discomfort. Want to take it further? Pair your breathing with mindfulness or visualization. Here's how. Body scan meditation. Start at your toes and work your way up, bringing awareness to each part of your body. With each exhale, imagine releasing tension from that area. This builds a connection between your mind and muscles and helps you let go of unconscious clenching. Guided imagery. Visualize a warm light or wave of comfort sweeping through your abdomen, soothing the pain, relaxing the tissues, softening the edges of the discomfort. This technique has been used in pain clinics for decades to help patients regain control over chronic pain. Progressive muscle relaxation. Tense each muscle group one at a time. Legs, hips, belly, chest, shoulders, arms, and then release. This method trains your body to identify and release hidden tension, especially helpful when cramps cause full body tightness. Affirmation breathing. Inhale with a calming phrase like, I am safe, and exhale with, I am releasing pain. Your thoughts have power. Repeating soothing words while breathing can reinforce a sense of emotional security and shift your internal experience of pain. What makes breathing and mindfulness so powerful is that they are accessible anywhere, anytime. You can practice them at your desk, in bed, on the train, in a restroom, in a moment of panic, or in the stillness of early morning. There is no wrong way to breathe, only a choice to do it with awareness. But it's not just about reducing physical pain. It's about reframing your relationship with your period. Many people carry emotional trauma around menstruation. Maybe you were taught to hide it, to feel shame, to push through pain without complaint. Maybe you were told it's just part of being a woman or not that bad compared to others. Maybe you've internalized the idea that your body is something to fight against during your cycle, a broken machine that betrays you each month. Mindfulness gently dismantles that narrative. It replaces judgment with curiosity. It transforms shame into compassion. It shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's needed. When you breathe mindfully during your period, you're not just managing pain, you're reconnecting with your body. You're saying, I hear you, I'm with you. Let's get through this together. Over time, consistent breathing and mindfulness practices don't just help during your period, they help before it begins. You may notice reduced premenstrual tension. You may feel calmer in the days leading up to your period. Your sleep may improve. Your moods may stabilize. And because stress is a major trigger for painful periods, lowering your stress baseline can lead to less intense cramps over time. And it's not just physical or emotional, it's hormonal. When you activate the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing, you reduce cortisol, stabilize serotonin, and even influence the way estrogen and progesterone are processed by the body. Your hormones respond to calm. They shift in harmony with your breath. This means breathing is not just psychological, it's biochemical. Still not convinced? Try this. The next time a cramp begins, instead of immediately bracing or panicking, stop. Place a hand on your belly, close your eyes, inhale slowly. Exhale gently. Do it again and again. Breathe into the pain, not to fight it, but to make space around it, to soften it, to let your body know it doesn't have to scream to be heard, that you are listening, that you are responding, that you are giving it what it needs. Because often, the body doesn't just want to be fixed, it wants to be understood. And that's what mindful breathing offers. Understanding, patience, presence. Relief that doesn't come from force, but from surrender. So as you go through your cycle, don't underestimate the healing power of your own breath. It costs nothing. It's always available. It's your built-in tool for grounding, soothing, and releasing. You don't need anything outside of you to begin. You are already fully equipped. You are not weak for feeling pain. You are not dramatic for needing comfort. You are human, and your breath is your bridge, from pain to peace, from tension to tenderness, from surviving your period to transforming it. Breathe, relax, begin again. Turning pain into power. Your period is not your enemy. So here we are. You've tried the hot water bottle, you've taken the painkillers, you've curled up, shut the lights, and counted the minutes until it's over. You've been told it's normal, that it's just a part of being a woman, that you have to suffer. Push through, suck it up, smile anyway. But what if everything you've been told about period pain isn't the full story? What if there's another truth? One that doesn't start in a pharmacy or end in frustration, but begins in you. This entire journey, from hydration to magnesium, movement to mindful breathing, TENS machines to nourishing food, has not just been about reducing pain. It's about reclaiming ownership of your body, of your cycle, of your experience. Because your period is not your enemy. Your period is a communication. It's your body speaking to you in the language of rhythm and biology, telling you when something is out of balance and when something needs love. It's a sacred, powerful process that connects you to generations of women before you. Women who bled in silence, in shame, in secret. But this is a new time. You are allowed to speak, to ask, to feel, to say this hurts and not feel guilty for needing help. And most of all, you are allowed to heal. Pain may be part of the story, but it does not have to be the main character. You can learn your body's patterns. You can build rituals that nourish instead of deplete. You can prepare for each cycle like a season, not with dread, but with intention. Because every month, you get a choice. You can continue to fight your body, or you can partner with it. You can ignore the signals, or you can listen and respond with wisdom. You can survive your period, or you can transform your period into a time of deeper connection, compassion, and care. And no, it won't be perfect every time. Some months will be harder than others. Some days, no matter how much you hydrate or stretch or breathe, the pain will still visit like an uninvited guest. That doesn't mean you failed. That doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. But here's the difference. Now, you're not waiting helplessly. Now you have tools, knowledge, power. You know how to move. You know what to eat. You know when to rest and when to rise. You know that your breath is medicine. Your water is a shield. Your magnesium is your ally. You know that science is on your side. You've gone from victim to healer, from cramping in silence to rising in awareness. And maybe, just maybe, you'll begin to see your period not as a curse, but as a sacred signal that invites you into deeper self-care. It invites you to slow down, to nourish, to release, to reset. It invites you to reflect on what's working in your life and what's not. To check in, not just with your physical body, but with your emotional world, your energy, your needs. Because your period is not just blood and pain, it's wisdom. And when you begin to respond to it with love, your entire relationship to it shifts. Imagine a world where period education didn't start with shame, but with empowerment. Where girls learned that cramps weren't meant to be suffered in silence, but treated with knowledge and kindness. Where healthcare didn't ignore menstrual pain as normal, but treated it as an important clue into hormonal health. That world begins with you. With each person who chooses to ask questions, to try new things, to trust their body, instead of fighting it. With each person who says, I deserve comfort, I deserve care, I deserve solutions rooted in science, not shame. And let's be clear, this isn't about avoiding medical treatment if it's needed. If your period pain is severe, persistent, or interferes with your daily life, you must seek a proper diagnosis. Conditions like endometriosis, PCOS, fibroids, and adenomyosis are real and serious. Pain should never be normalized to the point where suffering is seen as strength. But whether your pain is occasional or chronic, you deserve relief. You deserve options. And those options begin in your kitchen, in your breath, in your choices, in the quiet moments when you decide, this month, I'm doing it differently. So the next time your period comes, don't brace for battle. Prepare with peace. Drink your water, stretch your body, eat your magnesium-rich foods. Place your TENS pads gently on your belly. Breathe deeply as if each breath is a wave of comfort. And know, truly know, that you are not alone. You are part of a quiet revolution, a movement of people who are no longer willing to suffer in the shadows, who are reclaiming their cycles, not as burdens, but as blueprints for better health. You are strong. You are wise. You are worthy of comfort, of healing, of harmony. Let that be your mantra. Let that guide your every choice. And remember, your period pain is not just something to get through. It's something to understand, to respond to, and eventually to overcome. Because you are not powerless. You are not fragile. You are not broken. You are powerful. And your healing, it begins now.